Today on episode 202 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, our NFL Week 4 pick show, and the TCF Top 3 of States. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans. It is episode 202, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Make sure to find us on Twitter or X or whatever you call it now, typical_Chicago on there. Head to Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like as well. For all of our content in video form, go on over to YouTube. Give us a nice subscribe on the YouTube page. Wherever you get your podcast, subscribe, rate, and review. Pretty much all the platforms that you could possibly find a podcast, we are on there. So check us out there. You can find me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. And, of course, the gentleman that I'm joined with tonight, that is Zach at Lilia TCF, Big Z. It's like the last nice warm weekend of summer. How we feeling, man?
A surprising 85 degrees this weekend. It's pretty warm, but I'm not going to get used to this. Hopefully not. But, yeah, it's a little bit like at the end of summer. Well, summer's over with, but it's just like there's just a little bit of summer hanging around. And so we'll get past it and get back into the fall weather, hopefully.
I think I saw that next week on Wednesday, maybe it's supposed to it's going to be hot Monday, Tuesday, but then it's going to start dipping back down into those fall weather.
Last time harvest started and it's like 85 degrees.
Yeah, the cornfield around my house, my privacy fence is now gone. The cornfield has been
it's
taken
crazy
down.
How quickly it's just like, oh, goodbye.
Yep. But hey, man, if that means fall weather is closer, I noticed when me and the wife were strolling through the grocery store the other day, all of the fall beers, the pumpkin beers are out, so it's definitely fall season.
And it wasn't too windy, so you didn't have too much corn stalks in your yard.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as it has been. It wasn't great, but it
usually it seems like the next day it's just like super windy.
Yes, and that's why I wanted to get the grass mowed today as fast as possible. So, but let's jump into things. As always, we've got sinkers and floaters. And my sinker this week, we're headed to probably my least favorite city in America as far as sports fans go, and that's Philadelphia. And I'm sure you've heard there's a lot of these emotional support animals is kind of a thing now, right? People take their dogs on planes, their cats, whatever, their emotional support animal. But a gentleman tried to take a special emotional support animal into the Phillies game the other day. Also, side note, Phillies fans, biggest scumbags on the planet. I've told this story multiple times. I hate Philly sports because of this. But the animal he tried to take in as his emotional support animal was his pet alligator.
Nope. This guy goes to jail. You don't just have an alligator as a pet.
No, absolutely. And he even had a vest. He had a vest and a dog chain to walk this alligator around. He was denied entry, thank God. At least somebody with smarter heads.
Unless for some reason you have a zoo in your backyard with other animals or exotic animals, you don't need an alligator.
Yeah. No, I'm completely out. I don't even have a problem with alligators, but I don't need one at a baseball game.
I have a problem with alligators.
Nah, I'm okay with alligators.
You see them on the golf course and stuff, that's scary.
No, it's not that scary. You don't harm them, they won't harm you.
Yeah, right. I think it's coming after you.
No, it's not. They only come after you if they feel, well, first of all, if they're hungry.
Or if they're your pet, you make them your pet.
Yeah, that's
alligators are not meant to be pets. They're meant to be in the swamps.
Yes, exactly. I also have this crazy theory that a small enough alligator I could wrestle successfully. So
that's insane.
I don't think it is.
Even a little baby one, I think it can still take you.
No, dude, they can't move side to side.
I understand that, but if it gets a quick bite on you, you're done.
No, dude, I could withstand a little nip.
Right, well, maybe one day we'll figure it out.
Do you think you'd have a better chance against a chimp or an alligator?
Neither.
No, if you had to pick one,
neither. This is a dumb conversation. I hate these stupid. Ooh, could I beat up an animal? No, they're animals. They survive in the wild. They're ready for anything. They're not scared of you.
Dude, alligators are easy because you just need electrical tape. You got to get on their snouts.
Yeah, but
and
you have
electrical
to first.
tape them.
But the first thing you have to do is do that. For you to be like in the right position, you have to like sit on this alligator. Dude, there's just too many bad things can go on.
Listen,
I'm over it.
I've watched enough Steve Irwin when I was younger. You just got to get in their blind spot. You got to jump up. You got to hands around. They got like a nice little area underneath their jaw, and you just hold and electrical tape
The
the hell
alligator
out.
would love for you to try that.
I don't think this alligator knows what's coming, buddy.
I don't think you know what's coming, dude. An alligator.
I've studied tape on the alligator. He hasn't studied tape on me.
No, he doesn't have to because he's an alligator.
I think he needs to watch some film.
You ever seen the movie Happy Gilmore?
Yeah, and Happy won. That's what happened. What happened to me? I would win.
I know, but a hand was lost.
Yeah, but that was like 50 years ago. We're more evolved now.
I think alligators are actually gotten stronger. My thinker should be chance thinking he can take an alligator, but it's something even worse than that. And it's just Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce stuff. I can't take it anymore. It's just like, okay, it was one game, but now she's going to the Jets game, and like the price of Jets tickets are going up. Like at some point, the NFL has something to do with this. But
no, definitely.
I just don't care. I don't care.
I don't know how you sit. Like, I admittedly, I'm not a Taylor Swift music fan, right?
It's not great music. I'm not like going to the concerts. I'm not a Swiftie or anything, but like she makes good music because she's doing something right. But it's just like I'm not tuning into the football game to like see who's in the crowd.
Yeah, exactly. And like I think the biggest thing, and I don't know about you, but like the most annoying part of it is the people being like, oh, Taylor Swift is going to make the NFL so much money. I'm like, do you understand how much money the NFL makes? Like,
it's the NFL.
Let's slow our roll here.
Well, she's also going like the two easiest teams to play in the NFL, the Bears and the Jets. So maybe she needs to go like watch an actual game.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But yeah, dude, it's probably just because of how much we're on social media. I think that's like our problem, right? Like
it's on the news though too. I mean, it's all over TV and Sports Center and stuff. So it's not just on social media.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm with you, man. I'm completely over it. I don't need this much coverage on it at all. Like
at first I was annoyed because yes, it was the Bears game and they got their butts kicked. But after a while it's like, okay, enough is enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate to say this, but like I don't know if you've noticed the like Dion in Colorado, like the whole storyline is starting to jump the shark a little bit to me, just by how much like ESPN covers it. And don't get me wrong, I like Dion, I like Colorado, but like it's becoming a little much this week. This storyline with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce is completely overtaken. I wish I could go
like
back to
his jersey,
Dion
the top selling jersey now.
Yeah,
give me a break.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. My floater is something that I wish would go away forever, but it is back, and that is because I don't know how good my video quality is, but seasonal allergies. I mowed the yard today, dude, and I thought that seasonal allergies were just like a spring, early summer thing. Like for a solid hour, I had trouble opening my eyelids. I thought seasonal allergies were done and gone. But no, apparently they're giant in the fall too. So here I am.
That's just the worst time of the year too for this because it's when the corn's getting picked and every like harvest is going on and stuff like that. And it's just there's so much going on in the air. And you go out there and you're mowing, you can't see. It's awful.
Yeah, and I do have like some sort of seasonal allergy issue. Like it happens there's definitely something in my pine trees in my yard that I'm allergic to, because if I get too close, I'll get like, if I brush up against them, I get like hives on my arm and stuff. But like I don't think I like brushed into anything today. I did pretty good today, and dude, I am just sniffling. Eyes are just, I'm struggling over here, and I mean, it's the weekend, and I shouldn't be dealing with this.
It's the weekend. You'll deal with this on the weekdays.
Yeah, exactly. Give me a seasonal allergy attack on a Tuesday. I'll handle it a little bit better than a Saturday or Sunday when I should be watching football.
But like I said, this time of year it just sucks for it because there's so much going on in the air.
Yeah, dude. And like I said earlier, like living in the middle of a cornfield doesn't like literally today as I'm mowing my yard, there is a combine, a tractor, and a semi truck, maybe 50 yards from me, dumping and picking the corn out of the fields, and so it definitely didn't help anything, that's for sure. So we'll see how the next few days go.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are having that problem.
Yeah, it's not fun.
My floater is this Las Vegas Sphere concert. That looks like
Oh,
the coolest thing of all time.
dude, yes.
I think it was U2 was there, but it looked unbelievable. I mean, there's a lot of places to stand, and like anywhere you stand there, you can see how cool the background is.
I'm glad you brought this up because I keep seeing it all over TikTok, and I admittedly am not a big U2 fan. It's one of my dad's favorite bands. Not the biggest U2 guy, but like I would legit go to a U2 concert just to
Yeah,
see that. Like some of
that
those
looked
visuals were
awesome.
insane. Like you felt like you were watching a concert on like the top of Mount Everest.
Yeah, like you don't know what time of day it is.
Yeah, yeah, dude. That was cool. I am a big fan of that.
I'm a big fan of Red Rocks. Me and you went there about
You
2 years ago. This is another place that I would love to go see a
maybe
concert at.
we so I know we've talked about it a few times. I don't know if we've talked about it here on the podcast, but next summer, because we didn't end up going out to Seattle for the All-Star game this year, with obviously me having a kid, and as Seattle's not really a destination right now, but we will be going to the All-Star break next year. So maybe after our All-Star trip next year to Dallas, maybe we start planning a couple, musical, go see a concert out at Red Rocks, or go to Vegas and see a show at the Sphere, or
We
whatever it is.
gotta
But
find somebody that we actually would do that for.
yeah, because who was it when we were out there, trampled by turtles or
Yeah, I
something?
had no idea.
But like, I would love to go out there, even like for like a Burt Kreischer,
Yeah, that'd
stand
be
up
sweet.
hour. Or I'll be honest, like if it's anything like I've remotely even heard, I'm in, because I think Red Rocks is like a top five, like just place to go hang out, for the day. So maybe we start transitioning from baseball trips to go and seeing some music venues. We got to get Red Rocks and the Sphere knocked out.
Or we just do both.
Hey, I'm all in for that, man.
At some point, what is there? Is it next year? There's gonna be a Las Vegas baseball team.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
The A's are most likely moving there, and it's a little bit farther down the road, but I think we're going to end up seeing an NBA team in Vegas too.
oh yeah.
So yeah, and we got the hookup. Our guy Joe lives out there, so big Vegas fan. So I'm always in for that. But let's go ahead and move on. Let's get to the bad news for the TCF Sports Minute. The Cubs with one of the most epic
September
collapses.
6th, they had like a 92% chance of making the playoffs. As of the time we are recording, they have a 0% chance because they have been eliminated because the Marlins won. And the Cubs
Yeah, it's bad.
the last 2 weeks have been a joke, an absolute joke.
Well, okay, so we didn't record a daily show this week, right?
No, we did.
Okay, but it was Monday night, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we haven't recorded anything since before the Atlanta series. And what you were unfortunately, on the receiving end of my rant via text message after the Suzuki fly ball. He's got to catch that ball.
Oh, he's got to catch that ball. You had a lot of drop balls here in the last 2 weeks. Crazy things have happened. We've lost games in the 8th inning, 9th inning. Anything and everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. And really seeing this team play the last few weeks, the playoffs wouldn't even have mattered. This team
Yeah.
at this time is just not ready for the playoffs. They had that nice streak of winning and the 8-game win streak right during the trade deadline, and then we had. I mean, they were 3 games behind the Brewers, 2 games behind the Brewers at one point for the division, and now we're not in the playoffs. And there's going to be a lot of questions that are going to have to be answered here in this offseason.
Granted, it was probably the toughest 2 opponents you could finish the season off with in the National League. Granted, you take,
they're also a team that you're most likely going to have to play here in the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to be in the biggest moment of the season and this is what happens, what would have happened next week or in 2 weeks when they have to play these teams? Like, it was going to happen at some point.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. And like, it is an epic collapse. I mean, there's no other way around it.
Catch and miss with Suzuki, and then all the late inning giving up runs. It's like, yeah, it's a collapse, and it's not going to look good. And unfortunately, you have a long off season of having to hopefully make some moves. And unfortunately, you got to look at it like, was it worth bringing up Pete Crow Armstrong? Like, he just kind of was struggling awful as of late.
That's another thing. How he can't get picked off at third base.
No.
Like, I know we're going back.
I just don't understand what happened. I mean, they looked so good there for a little bit, and then it looked horrible.
It's so frustrating. And like, here's the problem that I keep running into is, like, we've talked about this on the show, is that if you'd have told us in February and March that this team would have came down to game 161 to decide whether they were going to the playoffs, me and you both would have signed up in an instant, right? But the fact is that and I think me and you talked about this, if they'd have come out and gotten beat 8-2 and 9-3 and against the Braves, it would have been easier to swallow, right? You come out, you blow a lead in game 1, you lose in extras in game 2, game 3, you make a little bit of a push at the end. But like, you're right there. It almost would have been more beneficial to just get blown out, but it was like the most emotional roller coaster. That was playoff baseball. We experienced playoff baseball Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
And it went very badly.
And yeah, it's just, and then you come out, even like, we're recording this Saturday night, but you come out Saturday during the day or for the game and you go up 6-0, and then you look back and it's tied 6-6. Like,
they end up winning the game, but it just was bad. Very, very bad is what you can say about the whole last 2 weeks.
And we'll talk about this a lot from now till March 25th or whatever they kick off the season. But like, David Ross has to go, right?
I don't know what moves are going to
I think he does. I hate to say this. He tries to get cute way too much.
Yeah.
Like, dude, just do what, like, it almost feels like he's at that fork in 2 roads, right? And one is like the easy path, like do the right thing. And then the other path is like do something cute and, try to play hero ball. And he goes down the hero ball cute path all the time.
Do something crazy.
And don't get me wrong, like, the bullpen is atrocious. Like, if the Cubs are smart,
and
they extend Bellinger.
Pitching has struggled too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. And like, with Kyle Hendricks getting another year older, like, things are not going to like get better for him.
Stroman is most likely going to opt into his contract. We got Justin Steele, Tyone probably for a while.
Yeah, Tyone's locked in for a long time. It feels, I think, 5 years.
Unfortunately, we have a whole off season to talk about this stuff.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. It's going to be a long off season, so just strap in with us, folks.
A long last few days.
Yeah, dude, it's tough. It is tough to say the least. But like, I don't want to seem like I'm complaining too much. Like, we had an incredible baseball season.
Yeah, who would have thought they'd be in this position, honestly?
Like, do you think like this season was a success? Do you think this season was a success?
I guess you'd have to say yes because you would have never been in thought you'd be in contention. But if you look at the last month, it's a no.
Yes, I think that's a good way to put it.
Say
5
overall,
months of
yes, because
yes.
from where, like, if you're looking at it from the beginning of the season and the end, where you thought you would have been, where you ended up almost making the playoff, you were in the playoffs the last 2 days. But if you look at the last month, no, it's been a failure.
Yeah, I think that's a fair way to put it. And speaking of failures, Zachary, let's talk about the White Sox. They lost 100 games this year. That is
That's
the
tough.
definition of a failure.
Yeah, they had a lot more expectations than the Cubs too, going into the
Yeah,
season. Supposed to win the division at least, or at least be close. But no one would have thought they were going to lose 100 games going into the season.
no. Obviously, I think we all kind of knew this was a possibility at like the All-Star break, right?
Well, yeah, the All-Star break, yeah, but beginning of the season, no chance.
Yeah, and all right, I know this is dumb, but like White Sox fans who take to Twitter to just like dance on the Cubs' graves, you guys are losers. Like what dorks? Like that's such like I always
My
say
thing
this.
is, like, it's like you guys just lost 100 games today.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And not even that. Like it could go so much deeper. Like you have the worst owner in sports probably, and it's just like I just feel like when your team is 61 and 100, maybe just sit this one out. Like it's
Yeah.
I know I call them all the time, like I say little brother syndrome, but like it is like just proving the definition of little brother syndrome when White Sox fans take to Twitter to dance on the Cubs losing. And like how many times I saw this say a gif about him losing the ball in the lights or whatever, like by White Sox fans. I'm like, wait a second, hold on, let's back
Leave
up
me
a second.
alone.
Like it's just such loser mentality, and like I don't know about you, but like I don't think about the White Sox. Like, I don't like the White Sox, but like the White Sox don't mean that much to me.
Just
But it
know,
feels
as
like
of right now, we're all losers.
that is true. But it just feels like the Cubs just live in every White Sox fan's head to the point that they have to go to Twitter and like make fun of it. It's like, hold on, like we said earlier, you lost 100 games. Like, let's slow down a little bit.
Like Packer fans and Bears, like they just live rent free in your head.
Yeah, usually it's the Packers living rent free in the Bears fans' heads, but yeah, you're on the right path. You're
I'm
getting
close.
there. You are getting there. That's about all the time we need to spend on the White Sox. Zach, that's a great segue. Let's get into the Bears. Last week, pretty abysmal. We talked about this on the Daily Show. Do you think that coming into Sunday with the Broncos, who just got 50-pieced, you were a 3-point dog to start the game? Is this like a must-win for the sanity? Not saying that even a win
Yeah,
doesn't
if you're
mean
the pride of the team, you want to win the game, but it won't matter. It really won't matter.
like for the sake of yours and other Bears fans' sanity.
Well, just the pride of the players on the team. You would hope they want to go out there and after being embarrassed all week, they're going to go out there and win. But I mean, if they win the game, I don't really know if it would really change my mind at all.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, like, do you think you just like even if you lose the game, but like let's say it comes down to a
No, if they lose the game, I mean that's the worst thing of all time.
what if? All right, but for
I
example,
mean, the
like,
worst thing of all time, but I mean that would make you the worst team easily.
what if you come out and you score 38 points but lose by 5 points?
That means your defense sucked, and the offense. I mean, that would just losing to this team would just be. I mean, it would just be another loss for the Bears, but I mean it would just make you known as the worst team. Doesn't matter if you lose by 1 or 20. Losing to this team would just be bad.
Yeah,
And the same thing
yeah,
for the Broncos. If the Broncos lose to the Bears, you might be the new worst team in the league. So it might be the battle
yeah.
for the two worst teams.
Do you see? And like I've talked about this on the Pick Show. Like, do you think, or do you worry? I guess is like the with the Broncos having Russell Wilson and Sean Payton. If you do lose this game, do you chalk it up to like, hey, maybe the
No,
Broncos have found their stride?
No. I mean, there's no. It really wouldn't matter. You can try and say what you want with the 0-4. At that point, almost nearly impossible to make the playoffs. Coming back from 0-4. No.
Well, yeah, I think playoffs are well out.
No, but I'm just saying in general, 0-4. That's pretty much the end of the season.
Yeah, it's. Do you want to see Tyler Badgett? Are you done with Justin Fields like some of?
Well, I guess if you don't want to play him, but I mean, I don't know. I don't want to see him. Seems like a nice guy, but
yeah, I think you got to just ride this out.
I don't think he's coming to save the season.
Are you already in like Big Cat's mind of like, hey, Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison,
I just want to give Justin Fields a little more time because I just feel like he's not getting a fair shake. I just feel like they're not helping him out with the offensive line, play calling. Not saying he's this amazing quarterback, but I think he's better than they're letting him be seen as.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair assessment. Like,
guess what? Justin Fields looked just as good as maybe Caleb. I mean, Caleb Williams having an amazing year right now, but
like in the same breath, like Justin Fields was incredible at Ohio State.
Yeah, it just I'm tired of changing quarterbacks.
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those. I feel like Justin Fields is not as bad as it seems right now, but
I just don't know if he's as good as we need him to be.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. I think
maybe we'll see over here the next few weeks. We'll see.
I think Big Cat said it well. Like, he's waiting for guys to be Ohio State open, and that just doesn't happen in the NFL.
That's the problem.
That's a big problem.
Why? It's tough for a lot of the Alabama quarterbacks because those guys just get so open.
Yeah, exactly. So, do you think that, like, if they lose, like, is this the end? Like, can it get any worse than what it is?
Probably not. I mean, they're probably ranked as they are the worst team. They have the number 1 pick. So, as of this very game, but no, it can't get much worse.
And I think that if things ended right now, it's 2 top 5 picks.
Yeah.
It's all right. I guess my last question on the Bears: are you starting to lose faith in Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus? Matt Eberflus is 3-13, or no?
Eberflus more than Poles, but it's just the same thing too. It's just that's a quarterback. I'm tired of getting a new coach. I'm tired of always wondering if they need a new GM. It's just like at some point, can we just have some like sustainability?
Yeah. It's bad right now, and I'm not here to just poo-poo like it.
No, it's bad. It's bad. I mean, they're the worst team in the NFL right now.
Yes, and like not even just on the field, but like all the off-field stuff. Like we could kind of compare this to like the White Sox, right? How bad the play is, and then all the nonsense going on outside of the play. But I don't know, man. I know we're gonna put this out before the game Sunday. I do like the Bears to cover this, but I think the Bears are going to win this game. But I've said that a lot this year. So
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I would take the over. 2 bad defenses.
Yeah, what's that at like 42.5 or something like that?
Whatever it is, take the over.
Whatever it is, take the over. Says.
But I will get up tomorrow morning, put my clown face on, and watch the Bears game.
You're going to be the Joaquin Phoenix Joker meme, putting your face paint on. Yep. All right, fair enough. Last thing in the TCF Sports Minute, the Blackhawks have kicked off the preseason. They opened up Thursday night
against the Blues. Beat the Blues. Fuck the Blues.
Yes, they beat the Blues. They did. I think they lost tonight, Saturday night.
In overtime.
Yep. But and Maddie, I think Maddie says it perfect. He's like, this team is going to be bad, but they're going to be fun.
Yeah, they're fun. They got a lot of young guys on the team that like Lucas Reichel. I think we saw him play at the Ice Hogs.
Yep.
He's up this year. Connor Bedard, he just looks awesome out there. I mean, he just floats. He just floats, which is just it's awesome to see. And the first, I didn't watch the game tonight because unfortunately I was actually watching the Cubs game, which just didn't matter at all. In college football, he made this pass to win the game win the game in overtime. The pass he made, it just like curved around. It just everything he does is just magic.
Yeah. And Zach, you know what the best part of it is? He just turned 18 like a month ago.
The best part of the first game was when he was like in his interview at the end, and he's like, yeah, I like hockey. Yeah, he likes hockey.
Hey, we love that. I think that, and if I'm not mistaken, didn't he have an assist in the first game?
Yes, he did. He had 2 assists. He assisted on both goals.
He had both. Yeah. So, I mean, we're talking about like, think about, I mean, this is funny to think about now because you're 28 and I'm 33, but like at 18, how big of idiots we were. And this kid's out here just being the biggest name in professional hockey.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm 33 and I'm in the same boat. So, I don't know, man. I think it's just going to be fun to have like a reason to put Blackhawks games on like the second TV.
Cubs are done. White Sox are done. The Bears only play Sundays and, well, unfortunately, Thursday coming up here.
Bears are done, so
they can only break your heart once a week. And the Bulls, we'll see what the Bulls will be. But the Blackhawks, hey, they'll be fun to watch.
That is true. That is true. And,
you know what? Especially if you've really never been like a huge Blackhawks fan the last few years, you know what? It's time to get back into being a fan. And they got guys who are most likely going to be there for a while. They're kind of building around like they're kind of rebuilding in a way. So it's a good time to get back into being a fan.
You know what else people need to get back into, Zach?
Coffee.
Good coffee. All right. And you know how they can do that? Connect Roasters Coffee. All right. They have the best coffee around that you are going to find. They work with Dom Frederick. You guys know our guy Dom. They work with Ian Happ. Ian Happ won a Gold Glove last year. Gold Glovers don't drink bad coffee, so that should really tell you all that you need to know about Connect Roasters Coffee. Head on over to connectroasters.com or follow them on Twitter at Connect Roasters. They got a new shop opening up in Bourbonnais. Me and Zach are going to have to make a trip out there. But Zach, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to go solo. If we tell my wife that we are going to Connect Roasters Coffee Shop, there's no chance she's going to let us go without her. So my wife loves it. Zach loves it.
From what I hear, Roman's first words might be Connect Roasters Coffee.
That's what the people are saying. And, as good as that coffee is, I wouldn't blame the kid. All right. We've had their coffee. We've been there. You've seen the videos. All right. Head on over connectroasters.com, on Twitter at Connect Roasters. Go check out our good friends over at Connect Roasters Coffee. So as always, a big shout out to our friends over at Connect Roasters Coffee. Zach, let's jump into it. We got the NFL Week 4 pick show. Somehow, Zach is still kind of sort of rolling.
I'm not just kind of sort of rolling. I'm on fire.
All right. Well, it's Week 4, so let's slow our roll.
I'm just saying, don't sell me short here.
Hey, I at the end of the season, if somehow it's not going to happen, but if somehow you're still in first place, you're going to owe me a thank you for getting your picks in every week because the last 3 years, not great,
I got my
pal.
picks in.
No.
Verbally?
No. Had we not done this show tonight, there's a 0% chance you get your picks in tomorrow.
Oh, I would have gotten them, and I've had them all week.
Oh, well, then you could have put them in the spreadsheet that you've had access to
I don't do
August.
that. I don't do that for a reason.
Well, you know what? Maybe you should start doing it. You went 5-1. You're in first place at 13-5. Pigoy is in second place at 10-8. I am in third place at 6-10. Andy's not here, so I'll poo-poo on him a little bit. Maddie, 4-13. There's no way that math is right. I got to talk to Pigoy about his math skills here because he hasn't. We're all over the place. I gotta fix this. I gotta fix Pigoy's mistakes here. Either way, the standings are what they are. I don't know about you, but like I love that. I guess I say this as someone with a 5-month-old who's going to be up at 7:30 in the morning when this comes out. But I love being able to wake up to a nice little 8:30 London game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's Jaguars Falcons, like two teams that haven't played
It's
great
like the
this year by any stretch.
pre-football. It's like pre-football before the big football. Then there's a bunch of noon games and
Yeah. Yeah. So let's jump into it, dude. Who do you got for the noon games?
I have the Bears at plus 3.5 at home against the Broncos. Something's got to give, I hope. And then Miami plus 3 at the Bills. I don't think the Bills are very good right now, and I think Miami is for real.
All right. I am on the see, I'm the opposite of you. I think that the Bills are going to take care of business. Miami hasn't really played anybody. I think that the Bills are going to cover 2.5 here, and I also have the Rams at -1. I know that Anthony Richardson, I've been pretty impressed with him, even though I hated him at Florida because I could never win with him. I think the Rams they stayed in the Midwest this week, from what I understand. They're going to be able to take care. I think the Rams don't get enough love and respect for what they're doing. I know they're 1-2. They're not a good football team, but let's be honest, the Colts are a really bad football team. I think they're going to cover at least 1. And like I said, the Dolphins, the biggest reason that I am taking the Bills here, you don't come off of 70 points not being a little bit cocky. And I think it's going to come back to bite.
Maybe it will help.
But I just don't think it will. They've beaten the Chargers, the Patriots, and the Broncos. All right? They have played nobody. Okay? And they have to go to Buffalo. So let's see what
Buffalo's lost to Detroit at home,
who is a pretty good football team.
So are the Dolphins.
No, the Bills didn't. Did the Bills lose to the
that was the Chiefs, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no, wait, hang on. You're getting off track here. The Bills did.
The Lions lost to the Chiefs.
I know, but we're talking about the Bills. The Bills.
I know, that's what I said. That's where I screwed up.
Oh, I got you. I see what you're saying. I'll take the Bills here. The Dolphins, I like the Dolphins. I like what they're doing, but you got to prove it against somebody that's worth anything.
I don't think the Bills have proven much this year either.
But I think the Bills are also a team that like heat up as the season goes on. They usually tend to start the season
so much. Like the Bengals, they heat up as the season goes along. I understand that, but at some point you got to be like good all the time.
So if you throw week 1 out, the Bills have outscored opponents
who they played?
75-13.
Who they played?
The Raiders and the Commanders.
So yeah, it's just exactly what you said about the Charger or the Dolphins. Play somebody.
Yeah, I won't disagree there. I think the Commanders are better than what they have been, but I think the Bills are really hitting their stride a little bit earlier than maybe expected.
We'll see.
At
3:00 games, Dallas -6.5 at home against the Patriots. I think the Patriots are going to be bad for a while. And the Dallas getting the comeback after getting kind of embarrassed by Arizona. You think they're going to try and come out, win this game by a bunch. And then the Chargers -5 at home against the Raiders. Raiders got a lot of weird stuff going on off the field, on the field. Devontae Adams doesn't want to be there. So we'll have to kind of see. I think the Chargers will pull it off at home at least by 5, which is a weird number. But Chargers and not Bears, Dallas.
I'm with you on the Cowboys. I think that the Cowboys have a big time get right week this week, right? You come off of the Arizona loss, which is a terrible loss. I do find it very hard and I don't know about you, but like betting against Bill Belichick is still difficult. And I know the Patriots aren't good, but like there's just something in my brain.
At some point though, it's going to change.
Yeah, but I've been saying that for 3 years now since Tom Brady's left.
I guess, but like I think it was more like you bet on Tom Brady. You don't want to bet on Mac Jones.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm with you. I'm on the Cowboys. I think
At
they're going to
some
bounce
point,
back.
the dynasty kind of wears off.
Yeah, but it's still Bill Belichick, so that's what worries me just a little bit. But I am on them as well. And then I also have the Cardinals plus 14, and I think that the
That's a big
49ers are
number. That's
one
just a big
of.
number.
That's exactly it. I think the 49ers are the best team in the NFC. I really do. But the Cardinals, I know they're coming off of like a really high emotional win over the Cowboys, but that's a lot of points to cover.
I really don't think it'll be a close game, but at 14 is just tough.
And like the Cardinals, yeah, they're bad, but like I feel like even with Dobbs, they're at least like gonna stay in games. They're not gonna win this game. I'm not gonna sprinkle money line here,
Still
but
an
I think that
NFL
they're
team.
yeah, exactly. And they proved last week they can beat the Cowboys, who I think are a top 5 team in the NFL, maybe top 10 team if you really press me. But like I still think that the Cardinals are good enough to keep this game kind of sort of close.
We're on to Sunday night, right?
Yep.
I got Chiefs minus 8.5. The Jets stink. They are bad. Everyone's going to be worried about Taylor Swift in the building. It's the only reason people are going to watch this game because I think the Chiefs are going to blow them out.
I am 100% with you, dude.
The Jets are so bad. Zach Wilson, he may be the worst quarterback in the league right now, starting.
I was going to make a joke here, but I'm going to be
coming from a guy who has a guy who can be said as maybe not as the best, but hey, he had last year.
Yeah,
but still,
no. My only worry.
Bad.
I'm with you. I'm on the Chiefs minus 8.5 as well, but I do only worry because this is a home game. This is like a do or die situation for Zach Wilson. Like he may be playing for the rest of his
all of last season.
He was a rookie last season.
Was he a rookie last season? I thought it was
no, but it was the first year that he started.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying he's had all that pressure and really never stepped up to it.
Yeah, and I do, like I said, the only thing I worry about, like, this is one I kind of batted back and forth, but at the end of the day, you just have to go, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. You know, Zach Wilson is who he is. Like, don't be stupid here. Take the Chiefs. Yeah, you don't have to say a whole lot more. The Chiefs are humming right now. I think they're going to be okay. Monday night, Giants Seahawks. This game should have been flexed. This game sucks.
Seattle minus 1.5. The Giants stink. Seattle's at least decent. They're a pretty good team. They'll be fun to watch, but I don't know why the Giants keep being in like primetime games.
Yeah, I am actually on the Giants plus 2 here. I don't think that Daniel Jones gets enough. Like he has his moments, but I think Daniel Jones is a fine quarterback. I do worry. Like there's rumors out right now. We're recording this on Saturday that Saquon is not going to play. But my biggest thing here, and this is just my dumb brain, it's a Monday night game. It's on the East Coast. It's in New York. Seattle, that's a long way from New York. So take the home team because they don't have to travel to the game.
Unfortunately, that home team is the Giants.
Yeah, but I don't know if the Giants are as bad as
if they have Saquon. It's totally different, but I do not think they're going to have him.
No, I think the way it's leaning right now is that they will not.
Truthfully, if they have Saquon, I would take them plus 2 easily.
Well, here's my
plus 2, but
here's my thing. Their schedule so far has been pretty difficult, right? You open up with the Cowboys, get absolutely waxed. Then you have to have that enormous comeback against the Cardinals, still win the game, but like almost an embarrassing start to how things were going for them. And then you get, beat by 18 by the 49ers. This is where it finally starts to get a little bit easier. I think that Geno Smith is showing who he really is. Like he's kind of reverting back to the old Geno here. I think this is a good opportunity for the Giants to say, "Hey, we get ourselves back to 2-2. We're now not completely. If you go to 1-3, you're not going to the playoffs."
I just think that will come next week when they have Saquon back. Because he makes their offense so much different.
Yeah. Oh, it's very different. Very different. The problem is next week they get the Dolphins. So this is like one of those.
They have a tough schedule. And how are the Chiefs getting the Bears and the Jets just back to back? What are we doing here?
Well, remember when this game was scheduled, the Jets were supposed to have Aaron Rodgers.
No, I understand that, but their schedule here, like they won their division, they won the Super Bowl, and they get this easy of a schedule here.
Well, I think if I'm pulling it up here, if I'm not mistaken, the Chiefs' schedule gets more difficult
That's two
a little
last
bit
place
later.
teams.
Oh yeah. I'm pulling up the Chiefs' schedule right now. I think their schedule. So after this, they have Vikings, Broncos, two bad teams, but the Vikings won the division last year. Chargers, Broncos, Dolphins, Eagles, Raiders, Packers, Bills, Patriots, Raiders, Bengals, Chargers. So
they had to play everyone from our division.
yeah, yep. So let's run down these picks real quick. If you want to fade him because he is 4-13 according to Pigoy's math, I got to go fix this. But Maddie has the Bucks plus 3.5, the Bills minus 2.5. The Raiders plus 6, Cowboys minus 5. Maddie's the only one on the Jets, and he also has the Giants plus 2. Pigoy, who is sitting at 10-8 according to his math, has the Steelers minus 3, Bengals minus 2.5, Chargers minus 5, 49ers minus 14, Chiefs minus 8.5, and he is with you on the Seahawks at plus 1.5. Let us know who you guys got this week in the NFL Week 4 pick show. Zach, it's been a long week, but let's wrap things up as always with the TCF top 3. And we just decided this one like 2 hours ago. So top 3 states. Take this how you will. Places you want to go, places you've been. Do you want to go first? You want me to?
I'll go first. California. I want to go to California. It's just it's big. It's warm. California.
I've been
You've been, so you can say that.
I guess when you say California, I think Los Angeles, and I hate Los Angeles.
Well, it's a very big state, so
I will give you, if Northern California is perfect.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to win this draft just with this pick. Colorado.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is. Mine and my wife's favorite state. It's where we went on our honeymoon. We've been back 3 times since then. Just, I think the thing is there is that it's very, very different from here. And the fact that you're like driving through mountains and, it's not the extremes. It's not extremely hot. It snows there quite a bit. But from what I understand, the snow, like they'll get like 13 inches of snow but you can still drive to work the next morning because it's, at least manageable and you can push it away and get to work. So Colorado is easily my first round pick. Second round pick, I hate to say this. You're not going to like this. It's Wisconsin.
I don't mind Wisconsin. I mean, I go there a lot, so
I love it because it's
there,
the motherland. The motherland of the Packers. But I mean, you got your perfect little, quaint, quiet getaway. What'd you say?
It's good for vacations.
100%. 100%. It's even in the summer, it's, even when it's hot, it's not disgustingly hot. There's always a breeze there, it feels like. Great cheese curds, great beer. Can't go wrong with Wisconsin.
No.
I feel like I picked Colorado as like my western state, and then I picked like the basic like Colorado equivalent of the Midwest. Colorado and
Michigan,
Wisconsin.
With my second pick, Michigan has got like nice golf courses. Especially when you get to the upper Michigan area, it's just really cool. It'll be a nice place to kind of maybe live one day when you get older.
I agree. Quick question before you move on. I think that's an amazing pick because actually in my head I was going between Wisconsin and Michigan. What are your thoughts on the Upper Peninsula of Michigan? Should they just give it to Wisconsin? I'm tired.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Yeah, we've been there.
It's in the middle of nowhere, but I guess it doesn't matter. They should just share it.
Who does Michigan think they are that they just get a part of Wisconsin?
It's kind of like alpha move there.
Oh, it's 100% an alpha move. It makes my pick look, kind of beta there.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
My pick is more superior.
Well, I don't know if I go that far, but it's definitely a power move.
I'm trying to think of the last state.
Where do you want to go? What state is on your bucket list, buddy?
Louisiana would be cool.
That's a sneaky good pick.
It's like the weather's always pretty decent there.
It does. It gets awfully muggy because of the swamps and the standing water. But I'll tell you why that's a good pick, Zach. Arguably the best food in the country.
New Orleans. Everyone goes to New Orleans. I'd say
Wayne's from
Tennessee
New
because
Orleans.
Nashville, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Tennessee has jumped the shark 1,000%.
In Florida, no, thank you.
Oh, wait, go up. Say what you want about Florida. I'd like to hear this.
I mean, it's a nice state. You ever listen to the Florida or Ohio on Waddle and Sylvie? Like that's just what I always think of Florida. It's just crazy things happening.
See, you're letting the media distract you from how great Florida
Who am I doing this podcast with a politician? The media is getting in your brain.
My third round pick, I'm going to go Florida. I love Florida. I love the crazy people down there. But we've also talked about this. Like, I enjoy the heat. I enjoy, the summer is my favorite time of the year. So
there's really nothing about Florida that makes me want to go. I mean, the golf courses, Jupiter, Florida would be sweet because of the golf courses. But other than that, no, thank you.
Oh, what are you talking about? You got the beach. I'm a big beach guy. Florida,
I don't like
Florida golf, absolutely elite. I played some random municipal course that was incredible for $26.
I should have said Arizona.
Yeah, and everybody will say, "Oh, it's too hot." It's a dry heat. It's not that bad. Stop. You know that feeling when you open up the oven and you get that little heat surge? It's like that.
Warm all year round. That would suck.
No, it's not that bad. It's
that was me being sarcastic.
Yeah, it's the same like we talked about Vegas earlier, right? It's very similar to the heat out there. I was in Vegas a couple years back, and it was 112, but I could sit outside all day during that heat. Sit outside, have a couple cocktails.
Oh yeah.
What else was on your honorable mention?
I don't know if there's really any. Massachusetts wouldn't be bad.
Zach, man, Massachusetts is sneaky solid. Boston's one of my favorite cities, so that
New
gets
York
lumped
at
into
the bottom.
No, yeah, New York is way down at the bottom. Texas, no thanks.
No.
But I'll be honest, California would be near my bottom, but that's just because of my experiences there.
Any state between here and Colorado, no thank you.
Yeah, Iowa, Nebraska, see you later. I know we kind of poo-pooed on them a little bit earlier, but the state of Washington and Oregon, those are really good ones. Those are up there.
Indiana's not bad.
Indiana also has the worst drivers in the country. They're absolute buffoons. I've never been cut off more.
Drivers everywhere.
I've never been cut off more in my life than driving through Indianapolis, Indiana. One I was going to say, this doesn't seem like something that I would like because I think we've talked about this. I'm not outdoorsy at all. I'm very much a homebody, not homebody, but I prefer hotels to camping. Montana is incredible.
Never been.
Absolutely incredible. I would take Montana any day of the week.
I think celebrities go out there and buy just a bunch of land.
Yeah, it's very open and fairly cheap. All right, here's Zach, real quick. Give me 3 states you don't ever want to go to.
New York. I've been there, but I wouldn't want to go back.
All right.
Probably Texas. I mean, that just seems. Oh, I guess we're going there. I also have a buddy who lives there, so
hot seat us for going to the state that Zach poo-pooed on.
It's just hot. I feel like Idaho would suck.
Idaho's not that bad. It's
I mean, it
like
just sounds
Diet
boring.
Montana. It is. That is fair. It is pretty boring, but at least I snuck onto the Boise State football field there, so that was kind of cool. Um, Real quick, my top three: Arkansas, don't need that. Nebraska, no thanks. Worst state I've ever driven through. And I will go with my third worst state, Ohio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that place sucks, dude.
Which
Ohio's
one I
bad.
also forgot was Minnesota's a good place.
Minnesota is very nice. We had a great time in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's the land of 10,000 lakes. How could you go wrong?
People are so nice.
They're Diet Canadians, all right?
It's America's version of Canadians.
Yeah, Diet Canadians. So let us know who you would put in your top three of states. But we thank you guys for joining us. A little shorter episode than probably normal. Maybe not.
Not really.
With his editing magic. But that was episode 202 of Typical Chicago Fans. Shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Find us on Twitter at typical_Chicago, Facebook and Instagram as well. Head over to YouTube, all the content in video form. Oh yeah, Zach, by the way, new food review is on YouTube. It ended up being like a 20-minute video. So please go check that out. Fat and Weird Cookies on the newest TCF food review. My stomach still hurts from that. But wherever you get your podcast, we are there as well. Whatever you use, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get them, subscribe, rate, and review. We are on there. You can find me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. And, of course, Zach at ZLilia TCF. We can't thank you guys enough. That was episode 202 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.